Art-inspired capsule started over a year ago out of a need for experimenting and challenging myself. I was super curious what would happen if I apply the wonder wardrobe method to something else than a specific person. So I started challenging myself with these pieces of art. Because let's be honest, after so many years of styling people, I got quite cozy in my comfort zone, so I needed to get out and push myself creatively. Is it possible to create a capsule based on any painting, or there are specific criteria that it has to meet? You should look for a painting with good amount of colors, so it shouldn't have just 1-2 colors, or you can't take anything that it has too many colors because you're gonna get lost and it's gonna get very complicated to make a fully interchangeable capsule out of it. So try to find a painting that has around maybe 10-12 colors maximum. Today's capsule is inspired by Rousseau's painting The Dream. I got drawn to this painting because of its lush representation of wildlife and nature. What I like the most about this painting is that the more you look at it, the more you discover. It is like a dream that keeps giving you more details the more you stay in it. So to turn this beautiful painting into a wonder wardrobe, I will need to start with the color palette first. So as always, I will use the template from the wonder wardrobe course and these beautiful colorful squares. They all have warm colors, the same like in the painting. How literal should one get with an art capsule? Like fully try to replicate Star Night or just use the colors, textures as an inspiration? So I think it depends on you, how literal you want to translate the painting into your wardrobe. I mean, it's a creative process and I don't think you can have very strict rules about it. So I try to not to get too literal, yeah, but get inspired by shapes, by the density of the color, the saturation of the color. Maybe it's more transparent in some way or it's more deep in some way, so you can mix and match. And for example, for more transparent color, it can be translated not only in a color but in a material, sheer material or something like this. Or you can get inspired by the fluidity of shapes. For example, in Star Night, everything is kind of rounded. So you can try to express it in the items you pick for this capsule. Do you think it is possible to make a capsule based on a sculpture, music piece, architecture, or some other form of artwork that is not painted? I would say you can definitely do that. I mean, of course, it depends on an art piece that you are looking at. For example, maybe with sculpture, it can get more complicated. Yeah, if it's just some like David naked, that might be a little bit complicated to create a capsule based on that. But if it's some interesting sculpture like Picasso did, because you can get inspired by shapes, by the story behind the sculpture and so on. Of course, you can get inspired by music, and fashion showed already many examples when it was inspired by rock music, punk music, yeah, and created the whole new styles. And of course, I think architecture can be very inspiring. I personally love architecture. Yeah, you can get inspired by the shape of the building, by sharp edges or rounded edges, or the way it fits the landscape and stuff like that. So, of course, you can definitely get inspired by other types of art.